Hey, if you do not have your board marker and eraser, pause this video right now and grab your materials. So in today's mini lesson, we talked about how we use that number line to figure out why 5/4 can be turned into a mixed numbered fraction, or why 13/6 can be turned into a mixed numbered fraction. And then we went through and we talked about kind of a little shortcut that's going to help us be able to determine without necessarily having to draw out that number line. But remember, understanding why this improper fraction can be turned into the mixed numbered fraction is still very important. So our thing that we did in class was we were taking 5/4 and we were turning that into a division problem. We learned that our numerator is always going to be what we are dividing out, and our denominator is always going to be our divisor. So 5 divided by 4. So 4 times what gets us close to 5 without being bigger than 5? Well, it's 4 times 1. So then we go ahead and divide. 1 times 4 is 4. Then we subtract, and then we subtract, and so 5 minus 4 is 1. And our denominator is what turns into a fraction. So we have to remember all the way back to our chapter where we learned how to do long division and turn our remainders into fractions. So it's finally coming back into full swing here. So our denominator, remember we learned a while ago, is always our numerator, and our numerator is always our remainder, and our divisor is always going to be our denominator. So our answer for 5/4 turned into a mixed numbered fraction is 1 1/4. So let's go ahead and set up our problem for 13/6. So 13 is going to be our dividend, and 6 is going to be our divisor. So pause this video and go ahead and divide. So as you've divided, if you have done this correctly, I'm going to go through very quickly. So 6 times what gets us close to 1? 6 times 0. 0 times 6 is 0. Now we subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. Bring down our 3. 6 times what gets us close to 13? The answer is 2. So this is our whole number, 2. 2 times 6 equals 12. Then we subtract. 13 minus 12 equals 1. So this is our remainder. So now let's think. I want for you to pause this video and turn this remainder into a fraction. Go ahead and go. All right, so if you've gone ahead and done that, our 1 is our numerator and our 6 is our divisor. Notice how our denominator never changes. It stayed a 6 over here and it's still a 6 over here. All right, 7/3. Go ahead and pause this video and turn this fraction into a mixed numbered fraction. All right, so if you've done this correctly, then you have put 3 as your dividend and 7 as your divisor. So 7 times what gets us close to 3 without being bigger than 3? I did that wrong. So sorry. If you'd done this correctly, you would not have done it like Mrs. Massey. See, even teachers make mistakes. 3 times what gets us close to 7 without being bigger than 7? See, I hope when I made that mistake, you guys were looking at me like, what are you doing, Mrs. Massey? So 3 times what gets us close to 7? We should have had 2. 2 times 3 equals 6, and 7 minus 6 equals 1. So our numerator that we should have gotten is 1, and our denominator that we should have gotten is 3. Now, the way that I realized this very quickly that I had set it up wrong is that earlier I had said that our divisor always is going to be the same as our denominator, because remember, that's still going to be your denominator for your mixed numbered fraction. So that's how I quickly realized that if I kept it like that, then my 7 would be my denominator, and that wasn't correct. So it's always good to make mistakes in math because it helps you learn and remember how awesome you are, right? So 2 1/3 is our answer. So good luck on your exit ticket. If you make mistakes like I did, that's okay. Just make sure that you fix them. Good luck.